Hey again, guys. Do you know what I like to do when I find out that the new Love Boat is actually a reality show? I like to look at some baseball cards because I ain't going to be watching that crap. Guys, I want to do a play ball extravaganza right now. I have a big box here of 1939, 1940, and 1941 play ball cards. And I have some more stuff over here. But these, and the 1941 especially is one of my all-time favorite sets. Always once since I was a little kid. And one of my favorite all-time cards is in there. And I have different versions of it. So let's delve in. We're going to start off with the 1939 play balls. Now these had sample cards in this set, and they were given by store owners out to promote the cards. And I have several of the sample backs. Here is the Joe DiMaggio. Beautiful example of the card. Here's the Millot. And it's interesting with this card because I had a chance to get a better centered one. And for whatever reason, this particular card spoke to me. And I had to get it. Because as I always say, beauty is in the eye of the beholder when you talk about eye appeal. Here is a Chuck Klein. I got this from Sean Tiefert at the National, the chosen roster. And I like this because he's with my Pirates. And here's Gus Sir, first baseman for my Pirates. Duke Derringer. Okay, those are all my samples. Here's a Hank Greenberg. Now this guy is the Jackie Robinson of Mexico. He was the first Mexican player in the National League, and that is Mel Almada. Did I say in the National League? If I did, I meant in pro baseball, in the major leagues. This is a fantastic Bobby Dewar. We had Dizzy and Daffy Dean. Daffy Dean isn't on a lot of cards. I was real excited when I got this. And we have here, this is Schoolboy Row. Here we have Deb Garms, and his 1941 play ball just was always a staple. Going back to when they made the Dover reprints. Staple for me anyway. And here's Babe Phelps. Rick Farrell. A beautiful Carl Hubble. I think this was the first one I ever got from the set. Paul Wainer, graded a 5. Had this in my, from a young age. Here's Little Poison. Lloyd Wainer. And this is Archie Vaughn. Beautiful card. Got a lot of my Pirates represented. And this is Heine Manouche. He also played for my Pirates for part of his career. This is Eddie Miller. And if I'm not mistaken, wasn't he the last member of the Cleveland World Series team to be alive? Last living member of the Cleveland World Series team, I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. Am I thinking of the wrong guy? Sylvester Johnson. Wait a second. Was that Eddie Robinson? I think I got the wrong guy. It happens. One of the greatest cards that was ever made. This guy was a jokester. Al Shot. Shot. And this is Lefty Gomez. It was Eddie Robinson. This is too old to be, man. Chuck Klein. Regular card. Oh, and this is Luke Hamlin. You know, I did get the Eddie part right, so I got that going for me. All right, here's John Cooney, good ball player. And this guy, I believe he's from Jeannette, Pennsylvania, or North Huntington, Irwin, if you guys around Pittsburgh will know. But his son used to come into my office, and that's Jimmy Ripple. He was a pitcher. And here we have Richard Kaufman. All right, let's get into the 1940 play balls. Here's Joe DiMaggio. Jimmy Fox. Beautiful Hank Greenberg. Frank Chance. Here we have Charlie Gehringer. Beautiful card. Good old Pete Alexander. Better known as Grover. Pop Haynes. Jesse. Got some loose ones here. Got a Bobby Dewar. We have a Red Ruffing. Argie Vaughn. George Sisler. Melott. Bill Dickey. This is an autograph, Cookie Lava Ghetto. Got another Daffy Dean. I like this one because it says Daffy. That's the great part about the 1940 set is the nicknames. Here's the Spy, Mo Berg. Gus Sir, great card. Paul Wainer. Frankie Frisch. Again, I like that one because he's with the Pirates. Here is Earl Averill. And Stonewall Jackson. Deb Garms again. Don Padgett. Tris Speaker. Got this from B. Roth. Babe Young. Great card. And this guy doesn't have a whole lot of cards. Good pitcher. Look up his stats. Spud Chandler. Spud Chandler. Really low ERA. Carl Hubble, one of the greatest pitchers ever. Great screwball he had. Lloyd Wayner. Duke Derringer. Pie Trainer. Dolph Camilli. Eddie Miller. L.B. Fletcher. L.B. Fletcher, I believe he grew up in Boston area, and they had a contest to vote for a young baseball player to go to Boston spring training. And he had a very large family in Boston, and they all voted for him. And he went to spring training, and he actually made the team. Great story. This is Babe Phelps. Lon Warnicki. Buck McCormick. This is Wally Berger. Bill Georges. John Cooney. Hal Trotsky. Pep Young. These last three I got way long time ago. Chuck Dressen. I just got them because I knew their names growing up as a kid. I don't know how. Just because I read a lot of baseball stuff. All right, let's get into one of my favorite all-time sets, and that's the 1941 play ball. Oh my God, I love this set so much. And one of my favorite all-time cards is the Melot from this set. Man, I was so excited years and years ago to grab this one. And the Carl Hubble. Now recently, I picked this up from REA Auctions, and it's an uncut sheet of the paper version. The paper version. Way more scarce than the regular cards. They came in these sheets. And I'll show you my other paper versions now. So, of course, I had to get the Melot because it's one of my favorite all-time cards. Archie Vaughan. Beautiful card. Just a classic. Red Ruffing. Look at the color on that, just pop. Dead Garms again. Buck McCormick. And Jimmy Brown. So that's one of the uncut sheets. There's two of them. Came in two. So I believe there's a 24 total in the set. Now we're going to get into, oh man, the regular ones. And I'm going to start off with the one of the first ones I ever got. Bought it from a dealer in Greensburg, PA. I used to go to, Joe's Card Shop. And I had to pay a little bit up at the time for this, just because, you know, he was like, it is in such fabulous condition and this and that. You know how they always say. But years later, I had it graded, and it graded a 7, and that's my Jimmy Fox. This is actually a reholder. I had it in the original SGC holder because it was one of the very first cards I sent in for grading. It was my first batch ever, back in the early 2000s. I intentionally bought this, and you're going to think I'm crazy, and I may be the only one that intentionally would buy this. But it's a true one-of-a-kind, baby. And that is my Joe DiMaggio, and it's miscut. But other than the miscut, it is so sharp. finding another one of those. Here's Ted Williams. A beauty. Hank Greenberg. Pee Wee Reese rookie card. Got another Debs Garms. This one's autographed. Regular Archie Vaughn. Chuck Klein. This is such a beautiful card. I was so excited to get this. Great player too, Charlie Gehringer. One of the better baseball players you might not have heard of, Indian Bob Johnson, and just a fabulous, fabulous looking card. Good player. All right, a few left. We got Red Ruffing. Vince DiMaggio. I believe this is his only card. I think. We have George McQuinn. Raleigh Helmsley. Pinky Higgins. Bill Jurgis. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I believe so. Pinky May. Cool card. Here is Stormy Weatherly. What a nickname that is. And I have a few raw ones here. I always have raw ones from when I was young. Here's another Hank Greenberg. This one's really sharp. Not quite as centered, as perfectly centered as my other one, but sharp. Bill Dickey. Joe Cronin. Oh, another Deb Garms. I probably have more Deb Garms than anybody on the planet. John Cooney. This is Tommy Bridges. Hal Trotsky. Buck McCormick. And one of my favorite cards is last here. One of my favorite cards in the set. And one of my all-time favorite cards, to be honest with you. And that is this Dutch Leonard. Just fabulous. Cards are like little works of art to me. I see baseball cards the way an art lover sees a Picasso. Just fabulous. All right, guys, I think I've taken up enough of your time. That was a bit long, a bit longer than normal. Oh. All right, guys, I want to thank you for hanging out and looking at some play ball cards. Thanks for watching.